Go ahead and record this. So I'm going to mainly stick to the major pairs here. Recently, I've been dialing back the amount of pairs that I am looking at. So I was looking at a bunch a couple weeks ago, kind of literally like almost every pair, the minors and majors, just kind of testing this new strategy. Now I've kind of just dialed it back. I'm only focusing on the major pairs and gold. I was short yesterday, hit my stop loss. Why it did even went up with such low volume? Yeah, I mean the dollar is super bullish right now. I'm about to cover UCAD in a second. That's why I came on the call. I took a very small $100 for $800 trade right in this area. I shorted it, had tight stops, 200. It did wick out my stops, but I only risked $100. That wasn't like a major trade that I was trying to risk 1% on. It was very early. Now we're starting to get more of a transition on this one. We're basing this really all on the daily time frame and the weekly time frame, guys. So weekly time frame is coming back into this resistance level right here, as we've been anticipating since price has pushed down to this level. So as you can see, I'm going to bring this on. We've got this low was made, this lower high, this low was made, this lower high, this lower high, and then this new low down here. So now we're looking to push back up to retest the resistance and see if price can push down from that level right there. So that's why I'm so high on UCAD right now. That's why I'm looking at it so closely, is because we were at a major level. I would not open a long trade on UCAD right now. Doesn't really make any sense. But I'll start with UCAD, and we're gonna look at DXY with UCAD. So as I said, right now we're at this resistance level. We're starting to wick it a little bit on the lower time frame. As I come down to the daily, we can see we're starting to form some level of rejection at this level up here. And look, previously, obviously this thing has been in a downtrend for quite some time. We broke this level right here, came up, retested the resistance, broke this level, pushed down. Now we're coming back up. Ideally, I want a retest of this level, 126, 100, right around this area, at the least 126,000, which is kind of what we're testing right now. Now, when will I actually start to short this, guys? Coming down to the 4 hour, this looks beautiful. This 4 hour engulfing candle right here, this looks amazing. That has happened previously, though. This engulfing candle here, this bearish combination here. So we don't want to get faked out right now. Looking back previously, things are looking a bit different. If I were to highlight this area, and then if I were to highlight this area, and then I come down to the 30-minute time frame, look and see in these two areas, did structure break at all? So when I talk about structure and the structure break, I'm talking about this. Price pushed up, came down, formed this like sort of higher low, pushed down, and then it pushed all the way up. So it broke back. This was that next engulfing, doesn't break anything, comes down, and then continues. So both of those engulfing candles really didn't break any structure. This one did. This one we could say did. It broke this support level that had formed right here, definitely broke out, then had the retest, no engulfing, shot up, broke resistance. So no entry on that one. So look where we are now. Now I want to keep it as clean as possible. Um, we have broken some minor support. We just broke this level. This is that, again, if we come up, you guys are struggling with engulfing candles and how to evaluate them, what you should do is just highlight them on the higher time frame, like I'm doing right now. So come over here, highlight this candle, come down to the 30-minute, and then you'll see, what's going on. And we definitely had a break of support here, break of this like minor trend line. So things are shifting. We had the retest, rejection, nice engulfing. So when would I look to start shorting this? The dollar has been very bullish, so I don't want to get faked out by this right now. Going over to the dollar index, right here. This is my idea. The dollar index is overall, as we know, very bullish. Broke out on the 4 hour, broke out on the daily time frame. So we're bullish on both these time frames. Coming down to the 30-minute, what would I need to see at a minimum to start to get bearish on the dollar is look at structure. I just lined it out with this. I'll gray this out for you guys. I would need to see at a minimum this to break support. So we just pushed up to this high, made this higher low, pushed up to this high, made this higher low. At a minimum, we need the support level to break. This thing could just head higher right now, realistically. And where could it go if it heads higher? The next resistance level is really all the way up here at 93. That's kind of what I'm looking for the dollar index to come to is 93. Again, if we come up on this time frame, super bullish right now. This 93 level is about right here, about this 78.6. We can see there's a bunch of support and resistance at that level too on this time frame. So I'm looking for price to push higher. And if price does start to reject, we will only start to short once this level is broken, guys. Once this level breaks, we at least have a break of support. So I don't want to be early to the USD CAD party right now. I mean, right now it's pulling back. I don't want to be early on this. I want to wait. If DXY starts to break down, this thing's going to push lower, and then we'll look to get in. We'll look to get in here. So we've got all this mapped out. Let me, and again, I'm just trying to go back to the basics here. You know, not do anything crazy. Looking at market structure. If this thing does start to push lower, which would be from this high, it would start to move below this support level right here. It would start to come down lower, and then we'd get some sort of retest in this area. This is when I would look to short this. That would be a way better risk reward, way better opportunity. Right now, we're just early. We're just really early, so this thing could certainly just push to the upside, and that's fine because we're currently in a gold short right now. So we're in a gold short right now. Let's go to the higher time frame on this one. Up on the weekly time frame with gold, we are clearly in a downtrend at the moment. So we push below this support level right here, pushing lower. Look at this weekly, starting to pull back a little bit. Let me let some of these people in this meeting. Here we go. So starting to push down, obviously, with this below the support level, came down now to this like other support level down here. We could see the resistance, the support came right off of. A lot of people were name dropping this 1680 level as a serious level of structure. You could see right here the 1680. Obviously, if we look left, a lot of support and resistance at that level. So that's where price bounced off of, but don't get it twisted. We're still pretty bearish on this pair. Pretty much, we had this pullback. That was that pullback on the weekly time frame. We're testing this level of resistance on the daily. We don't want to miss out on a potential sell opportunity. So last night, what happened is we saw this candle close, this daily candle. I'm gonna go ahead and change this to black. So we saw this daily candle start to close extremely bearish. So resistance, bearish candle closes, you know, what do we do? Go down to the lower time frame. How's all this looking? So down the lower time frame, we had this higher high form right here. Then we started to consolidate, form this lower high, push down. And then I was waiting for ultimately a break of this level. This would be the best confirmation to start to short. But we did get this push down. This push down to 1726. This was a clean push down. Then we had the push back up. I set the sell limit right here. So we had this support level. That was the structure level that had been broken. I wanted, this was like, in my opinion, the best area to enter this at because we could put stops above here. And we had a lot of room kind of for stop loss. And then obviously the risk reward on this is still very favorable, still 4.38. So I had put a limit order on that one. This was given in the signals, as you guys see in the Telegram. So we're currently in this trade right now. So this is why it's important to have two different ideas. Is and we had this on GJ earlier in the week. We had a nice sell that was like a 5-to-1 risk reward on GJ. But what people didn't see is in the signals we had taken a sell on UCAD and a sell on GJ, and we cut the UCAD trade when it was minus like 5 pips because it started to run in the opposite direction, and GJ started to move in our direction, and then GJ we ended up making 5 risk reward, and UCAD we cut off at literally like 0.2% or whatever, like very low. So we cut the loss very short. So this is what I'm talking about right now, being versatile. If gold comes back to break even, my stops are already at break even. We're already up. We already went up a considerable amount, almost 1-to-1, meaning this price, this distance between our stop loss and our entry right here, we can see we've almost hit that price in profit. So whenever I get up a considerable amount or news is coming out, I can look up here. We'll look at some news really quickly. We'll see what's going on for today. Good old my FX book is normally what I'll use for news. I know other people use FX Street. Inside of the course, we have a few different sources for news. Let me see here. Let's see what high events are coming. 56 minutes. Fed Chair Powell testifies in an hour. So some USD news coming out along with USEF news. So we'll look at USEF in a second. Some GBP news. Nothing too crazy, honestly, today. Look at all of these. What it's projected to be. These all look fairly positive for the dollar. So we are trying to have gold push to the downside, which would mean the dollar would be gaining strength here. So, it is looking like this could be in our favor here. So we'll wait. So gold, again, if this pushes up the stop loss, we're out of the trade. What does that mean? That means that UCAD, and look how this thing's coming back now. So it's a good thing we didn't enter this. That means UCAD will be starting to break down. If gold pushes up, this means the dollar is getting weaker, right? Because gold is getting stronger. This means that UCAD will continue to weaken because the dollar will get weaker, CAD will get stronger against the dollar, and then will come down. So there's going to be a little bit more price action to be had before entering anything on UCAD right now. I'm just going to come back over to my little red list over here. We've got the dollar index. And then look at this, guys. So we are not shorting the dollar until at a minimum this level breaks, this support level. We're holding up at this level, starting to push a bit higher. Hey, this thing runs, the gold trade is going to run like really well. It's going to go really bearish. But if it starts to break down, that's not a problem. There's a lot of room for this thing to come down. It could come down realistically after it breaks this level. It could come down all the way to this area, about 35 pips. It would come to this previous resistance level right here. So a lot of room for this thing to push down. If it heads higher, it's going to head up to 93. 93 will be the next resistance level. So it will just run to 93. So that's just going over USEF and golds. That's kind of my first two pairs that I wanted to focus on in this session. And then other than that, we could take a look. There's some big USEF news coming out as we see at this interest rate decision. This is actually tomorrow. So this is in 19 hours. Let me actually just get in the chat really quickly, see what you guys are chatting up about. Let's see here. Is this recorded? Yes. GBP USD looks okay though. Waiting. UCAD is not ready for any big move. Yeah. Please analyze gold. Just did. Let's see. USEF next. Yes, we'll cover USEF. AUS pairs, please. They're at lows. Budget on the first. 8:30 today. Nothing happened. USEF was bullish. On daily, I'm looking for a short. Thanks for covering UCAD and gold. Yeah, no problem. So if you guys have any questions during this session, just post in the chat here and I'll cover it. All right. So USEF, Again, what are we looking for this? I have an alert set on Yusef at 9,300. Reason being is on literally every single time frame. I'll take this off right now. Literally every single time frame, this thing has broken to be fairly bullish. So if we look here, resistance was broken, pushed all the way up. I was looking for a short from this level right here. We did get actually crumbs of it, not much, but we did get some of it in there. But at this point, it's starting to run to the upside. And the next level is all the way up here. We got to be mindful of. The next level is literally all the way up here. Their next resistance level is at 95, right about 95. That's 150 pips away from here. So that's a good ways away if this thing starts to run to the upside. Now, when would I try to enter this on a buy? Just quite frankly, what we're looking at is look at this huge bullish candle. This is exactly what we want to see. Huge bullish candle after the consolidation. So it broke out. And now we can go all the way to the lower time frame. Lower time frame, we were clearly in an uptrend, pulled back to this higher low, made this lower high, made this retest the higher low, lower high, started to consolidate in this range, and then we just broke out of the range. So now, ideally, guys, what I want to see is I want to see a retest of this level. This level down here, and these, I don't use trend lines much because they're just subjective. You can literally draw a trend line. Hold up. You can literally draw a trend line 20 different ways and just make yourself look like a master trader. Um, pun, but literally, I don't use trend lines. They're too subjective. I like to just use structure. We can see here, this was clearly the resistance where price closed with the candles right here. So this is what I'm looking to test, even this little higher. But if we pull back, this would be a beautiful area to enter in. And this is really best case scenario though, guys. Like as we all know, the market will do whatever it wants. If price comes down into this area, we've got the 38.2, we've got some confluences there. So it would be a definite buy zone. But at the current price that it's at, what's it doing? It's just starting to push to this high, consolidate a bit. It would need to break down a bit more to start to short this. At a minimum, just like these other pairs, it needs to start to break some structure on this time frame. So if it breaks structure here, then we'll start to look for shorts into that support level, or just wait for the buy. I mean, I normally like to just wait for the buy opportunity on the 4 hour. As you can see, just a little lesson for you guys. I'm always going from the 4 hour. If I'm basing structure on the 4 hour time frame, I'm always going to the 30-minute. So 4 hour time frame, my main lower time frame structure is on the 30-minute. My minimum time frame is the 15-minute that I'm looking at. Sometimes if I'm trying to get in on an entry, I'll go all the way down to the 1 minute sometimes if I'm trying to get like truly the best entry. But lately I've just been waiting for the pullbacks and kind of triggering on them. So again, 4 hour, if you're doing structure on this time frame, like look, our structure's on this time frame. So if price comes down into this area, and let me just use this. I believe it's this one. Yep. So if price decides to come down into this area, and then we have the opportunity to enter in here, what are we going to look for? We're going to go down to the 30-minute time frame, and we're going to look at these are similar areas where these types of reversals are happening at. So let me come down first to the 30. We'll look at each of these, and then we'll come down even lower to the lower time frame. So we can see not every time is going to be the cleanest. We'll start with this one because this is like the worst example. So pretty much we had this low, lower high. Then we start to make, and this is all the way on the 30 minutes. So remember, we're trying to enter on this time frame. So we're getting pretty aggressive with what we're looking for. So we had this low form pulled back, push down, this low form pull back, push down, this low forms, push back, pushes down, and then what happens? We have the break of the resistance right there. No retest. I wouldn't have gotten in on this one simply because my order would have been sitting here. So I would have missed this one, which is okay. This one pushes to the upside. So no entry on that one. So that's one example. Let's go over now to this next example right here. And we have the same thing. We're just getting very aggressive when we're looking at structure, pushes down, pulls back, forms the resistance, breaks the resistance. My entries would be sitting at this level because that was the resistance broken. Comes down, no retest, no entry. Comes down, retests it, stops would have been below the low. Then it pushes up, pushes up. So that's another, just one example, a little bit better. That one, hypothetically, I would have gotten in on. And then this is the same thing. We have this low form, lower high, pushes down, low forms, lower high, pushes down, low forms, lower high, pushes down, forms another minor resistance. And then we break this, come over here, retest these highs. I don't know if I would have gotten in on this one. My order probably would have been sitting here at this level because I always like to set the limits at the bodies of the candles. So I don't know if I would have gotten on that one. Maybe I would have just been more aggressive and entered on, like, there's even this bullish engulfing combination right here. And then as you can see, price accelerates. So that is what we're looking at, guys. When price comes down into this area, we're going to get aggressive on the lower time frame because of the fact that this is a serious buy zone on the 4 hour. We're going to get aggressive on the lower time frame, and we're going to look for those entries. And considering this was in a range, we could even do that same type of exercise on the to the upside if we were looking for sells. So this also would apply if we were looking at the top here. And if you're really trying to enter, like say the 15-minute, that's when I would go down to the 15-minute if I was really confident about the area, if I had multiple kind of confluences on the higher time frame. And we could see here, so price pushes up, makes this higher low, pushes up, retests this higher low, pushes up, and then this is when it breaks. And this is, again, not every time you're going to get entries. It's not like the golden strategy. Like, we had a break of this level, my entry would have been sitting up here about 10 pips, 5 pips away. I would have missed it. It would have came to the downside. Now, this next area, get this shit out of here. This next area, we get this. So we pushed up to this high, pulled back to this higher low, pushed up, and then see we have the break. We have the break here. That's when I'm really trying to look to, I'm trying to look to enter. Once this breaks down and breaks the support, I'm trying to enter in one of two areas. If I'm confident in this area, I'm entering here or I'm entering here because this is a support turn resistance. This is a support turn resistance. So I could put my order here. My stops would have been right up in this area or even above the high, depending how I'm feeling. And then obviously this thing retraces on us, comes up. Well, first comes down. So ultimately, I might have even moved my stop loss and got like stopped out at break even. Then price comes up to this level, nice engulfing there as well. And then that would have been a sick entry to get in on. And then this thing obviously falls out. So that's just two examples of entries that you guys can use. I'm going to go through one more example to the right of this one. So let me see. And I'll do this all day, guys. Just run through examples of entries and ideas and different ways to take advantage of obviously previous positions that I could have been in on or that I was in on. Um, so let's go over to this last area, and then we'll get back onto the live chart. So we had, I believe, three. So we have this area now over here. And this one I'm going to go over like if I were to go to the 15 minutes. So this one, we had this high form, this higher low, this high forms, very minor break of support here. I mean, if you're trying to be like literally the devil's advocate, you would start to take sells at this level. This forms a higher low, forms the support level. That's where I would have been entering at. Other than that, on this time frame, there for me would have been no clear entry if I was trying to be extremely conservative because I would have waited for this level to break, or you would have entered at the double top. This is the double top right here, a lot of wicks. So that could have been an entry for sure on 30-minute time frame, even after this push. But I would have probably waited for the break of here, the pullback. Obviously, never get the pullback there, so would have kind of missed out on this one, which is okay. You know, you can't get in on every trade. You just stick to your rules. So again, let's look at current price. Let's get back to, you know, why we're here is to look at potential trades for today. So let me see. So this is, you know, my idea on USEF. We need that swing down. If we get the swing down, I'll look for the entry right in this area. And I'm just going to take this off because I like to keep these things cleaned up. So I'm going to jump into the chat really quickly. But first, let's take a look at how this guy's doing. So he's pulling back. So remember, if this thing pulls back to our entry right here, then UCAD will potentially give us a short opportunity if it does pull back that hard. So right now we're pulling back towards the entry. I'm probably going to stick in this trade. I don't know. I'm definitely trying to take advantage of gold right now. I'm just kind of in the mood to test gold. Had this nice rejection on the 4 hour already. So if this thing does melt, it would be a perfect scenario, perfect risk reward, about 4.38. So definitely going to test my luck with gold right now. Let's go over to some of these other major pairs. So we already did USEF. We've got NU. There's nothing doing on NU right now, guys, because just look at the daily time or look at the weekly time frame. Let's start all the way up on the monthly time frame. We had been going over this pretty consistently. I had this alert set here. Just gonna remove that. We had been going over this like pretty consistently. Pretty much price came up to this high, long wick, pushed down now. So obviously we broke below the weekly. We're pretty bearish on this on every lower time frame. So coming down to the weekly time frame, what's good on this time frame? Pushed up, made this higher low, pushed up. Now we just broke the support, so that turns into resistance. So we're bearish on this time frame. Down to the daily, obviously price started to break down right here, broke this support level right here. Let's get off of that. So we broke the support level right here, pushed down, retested, double topped, two bearish engulfing candles on the daily time frame. So telling us everything we need to know about this one. Now we just push down. So there's nothing we can do on this right now. There's no trade that we can take. We need the pullback, ideally to this level right here. This is where I want price to pull back to. If we come down to the 4 hour time frame, there's literally no resistance up until that level either. So I'm going to be waiting on this one. This one's kind of shelved for me for a little while. Not going to be doing too much with that one. This at least this week, maybe next week we'll see some action. Let's go to Euro USD. Let's start off on the weekly time frame. And again, guys, if you have questions, just post in the chat. Let me pull this up. Will gold go down? Yeah, I mean, when you take a look at my order right now with gold, if anything, if gold is coming back up the way that it looks like it is, I will even potentially take another entry on this one as it shoots back up kind of into my entry, my original entry, which was at 1735.76. It's about 20 pips away from that. If it goes up there, then it's going to come down. We were buying gold to 1740. All right, brother. Can you analyze AUD USD? Yeah, I'll analyze. I'll do some AUD USD. What is your perception of the market in general? The market is definitely a bear. I do not want to be crossing it out here. It is serious, serious game. What are the chances gold will go down? Not sure. I open a short 2 lots on U7, negative $20. Should I close with loss? Depends how large your account is. It depends where your stop losses are right now. Like I covered with USEF, there's no reason to sell right now. There's literally no reason to sell. We need to see a break of this level first. If this comes up in like triple tops, up here we get some resistance, then maybe we could sell, but it's kind of early to be doing any of that. Can you show us how you mark up a clean chart using top-down analysis? What sessions do you trade in the signals group, London or NY? I actually do trade the London session. I mainly trade. I mean, honestly, I'll trade every session. Mainly the New York. Sometimes I'll wake up for the London session. It's me and another trader that do the signals. He's actually in the UK, so he trades the London session quite often. Um, Thanks for covering UCAD. Yeah, no problem. Let's see here. Yeah, we're still monitoring gold. I mean, it's starting to wick a little bit. What is this? The 1 hour just closed. Let's see this 1 hour time frame. I'm just checking on my phone. I'll pull it up on here in a second. New got only 500 AUD. Where should I put any suggestions? If you have 500 bucks right now, where should you put it? I don't know. If you don't know how to trade, obviously don't put it in the markets. Um, if you like one of the cryptos, then I would potentially put in that because it's obviously going to be your best return on investment potentially. Depends how long you want to hold whatever you're doing for. If it's a 6 month plan, 1 year plan, 3 year plan, you know what I mean? Or you're just trying to use that 500 bucks and reinvest it in yourself. I don't know what you want. Do you care about news? Not really. I mean, I trade technicals. I don't trade news. Sometimes I get burned by the news. So, sometimes, and I told this to someone the other day, I was like, I missed a meeting, I got burned on a news event. That doesn't mean now I'm going to become a fundamental analyst. Like, I don't, it doesn't matter. Like, 9 out of 10 times my trades are not affected. I'm scared about gold. 9 out of 10 times my trades are not affected by the news. Me and Nick like to say that news just accelerates the trend. Um, so that being said, if we're trend trading, if we're trading a market structure, news does not really impact us. If we're counter trend trading, then news will potentially impact us. Um, don't know how to trade, get the trade copier. Yes, good point. What else? Do you care about scared about gold, AUD? So yeah, we're starting to get a little push up on the dollar, which is good for us right now. So let's take a look at almighty gold. So gold is coming back up to the potential entry that I originally went to. We're retesting this high right now. This is exactly what we want to see, guys. We want to see the retest. We want price to breathe up and then make that next kind of leg down right now. And remember, we are risk free on this trade anyway. So there's not really, in my opinion, any risk involved for myself. And I will try to look for another potential entry. And if we come up to the 4 hour time frame again, I'm liking how this closed with the rejection of the level right there. Coming down to the 1 hour time frame, obviously this closed as a bullish engulfing, which is not as advantageous for us. So we will monitor it around this level. If price starts to consolidate here for like the whole day, then I will look to exit the trade. But for now, I'm still going to hold gold. And remember, in my back pocket, I do have UCAD. So if gold starts to go bullish, very bullish, I will simply flip over to UCAD and I will start to take shorts on this one. So I already have my plan for today kind of mapped out. We haven't covered, I believe, GU. So let's hop over to this one. And some people posted in the chat, they want me to cover a fresh chart and do like top down analysis. Yeah, I already covered UCAD. Drop which pair that you want me to cover. I'll start from literally a fresh chart and do everything, mark down my levels and everything. Obviously, one of the pairs that I don't normally trade, so try to pick like a minor pair. So just drop in the chat which pair that you want me to do that on. I'm gonna cover GU. This one is fucking so annoying because earlier this week I had such a good entry on this one, or such a good potential entry on this one, and I'll show you guys right here. I did delete my analysis because I like to keep things kind of cleaned up. But basically, what I was looking at on this 30-minute time frame was we were having this breakdown of structure. We were forming these lows and lower highs, this lower high, this lower low, form this lower high, this lower low, lower high, and then we had the perfect opportunity to enter literally right here. So I was looking to sell right here. I still have my little line mark there. I was all the way on the 15-minute. It was like 4 in the morning here, so I fell asleep. But this was the entry opportunity on GU. Thing ended up going crazy bearish, which I did not predict. But anyway, at this point, what do? There's nothing much we can do, guys, on this one at the moment because we're so low. We're so low right now on the chart. Even on the daily time frame, we're so low. We're potentially even coming into some sort of weekly support area. So looking at GU right now, what is my play? Ultimately, look at the monthly. We rejected the resistance. How many days are left? 7 days are left. So if this thing engulfs on the monthly time frame, it tells us everything we need to know. This thing's going to push lower. Whether it retraces or not, it's going to be very bearish. So we're looking over the next 7 days. Is price going to push and hold below this red line? This is really where we need. I'm going to push actually a little bit earlier at this level. So I'm going to mark this down right here. And I'm going to change this to yellow, and then we're going to come down to the weekly. So we need price to close below this level at the end of next week. So this isn't too much on our radar, which is why I made it this color. And I'm going to reduce it down even more so I don't get distracted by it. So yeah, so price is coming in, testing this level right now. What I need to see for more shorts is very simple. Like we were looking at it up here. I'll retrace this for you guys again. And I'm not trying to zone in too much on the charts. I'm trying to just be as kind of, loose as possible. We had this low, this lower high, this low, this lower high, this low, this lower high. Now we're down here. This is why I drew that next leg. That's what we're looking for. We're looking for price to push up into that area. Boom, right there, retest the resistance and go lower. That would be our most ideal entry right now. We would fib this from this level to this level. It'd be up near 50%. Ideally, price comes up as we see to this 61.8. This would be the best possible area for entry right there. So long ways to go on GU. I'm looking for it just to keep pushing down. It certainly has more room to fall right now. Coming down to the 1 hour, coming down to the 30-minute, has yet to break anything. So there's no reason to start to buy this yet. So waiting on this one to go over to GJ. This was the trade that we got in on this week in the signals. We shorted it literally from up here, and it ended up dropping a lot. Ended up dropping a ton. So yeah, this one was definitely a good trade earlier in the week. Let's just break down what's going on here. Monthly time frame. So all the way up here on the monthly time frame, we've got this weekly resistance level right here, which started to be rejected. So I'll bring on my little arrow. This pushed up, weekly resistance, rejection. And then as we can see, here on the weekly time frame, last week formed this bearish push down. So I was like, okay, we have some sellers are coming into the market. That's what I was thinking before the week. And then daily time frame, we had this. So just going based off structure, this higher low, this higher low, pushed up, this higher low, right here, that broke. So daily time frame started to break down. And then we had the 4-hour time frame, which looked clean as hell. I was looking for buys. If anyone looked at my analysis inside the Telegram, then it gapped down on the open, and we retested the resistance right there. That's when we sold. Right up here, boom. Stops were really tight on this one. We had stops at, we entered right here, and stops were at 151. 100, which was right here. So this thing ended up going about 7 to 1, 7.5 to 1 risk reward. You can see on the 4-hour. So this is what I'm talking about in the signals, guys, with, there are some losses, but when you get a win like this, if you're consistent with your lot sizing and your risking, you're going to recover, you know, those losses and obviously a lot more with a monster trade like this. So that's GJ. Again, we're waiting for the pullback. Look at the 4 hour. This is the level. This is the level to come back to. Looking for sells there, 100%. If we want to start to get aggressive, what I'll do is I'll go down all the way to the 15-minute, and then I'll see like, okay, what does the 15-minute look like? You got this high low, this low, this low, boom, boom. Oh no, what's going on here? Potential buy on GJ on the lower time frame. So sometimes I'll fuck around with this. If I were to buy this right now, if I was you, I would put my stops here and I would target. Remember, that's what our target is up here. You could even make your stops wider if you want, like two, make it 2 to 1 at the max. But I would put stops here, and then I would long into this level. I would only risk $100 or $50. $100, you'll make $360 out of this trade if it plays out. $50, you'll make $150, $175 if the trade plays out. So this is one of those trades where I won't risk my max 1%. I'll literally risk 0.1%. And if it plays out, it's just a nice win. And it's like a confidence booster too, because you're just getting in on the reversal. So this is a counter trend trade, just an idea, because we're waiting for the bigger move. So this thing could potentially be a push into that bigger move that we're waiting for. So I'm going to move this one over. So let me see. I'm going to hop off in a little bit. I got to run to I'm traveling today. I got to run to the airport in 10 minutes. What type of trader are you? I would say I'm more intraday now. I try to swing trade them and hold them into swing trades, but I'm really looking for intraday. GJ, GA, GN. Let's see. Do you trade crypto? What do you think about Cardano? I don't know much about Cardano. I'm looking to buy XRP at 20 cents. I have a buy limit on XRP at 20 cents. So that's what I'm looking for. Crypto wise, everyone obviously knows where it's at right now. 4 hour, we're at 55 cents. Let's go up. This thing's been climbing, you know, back to the upside. I'm looking to buy down here. If this thing runs without me, so be it. I want to buy down here. This would be the best risk reward based on targeting $1. And long term, this 2022 is $1. 2025 is $6. The projections. So don't buy at the highs, guys. Buy at the lows. I'm looking to buy down here. Down here would have been a nice buy. Actually, March 14th. Haven't even been watching this any at all, but this would have been a nice area to buy from. Already would have been up, you know, solid amount. So that's all the trades that I'm going to run through for today. I know you guys posted a GN in the list. Maybe I'll do a quick breakdown of that. Again, we're looking at gold to see if it survives the pullback that scares all traders. You know, we'll see if it survives the pullback. UCAD, we're getting ready. If gold breaks down, I'm gonna fucking short the shit out of UCAD. It's gonna be a massive trade, and it's because we're up at this again. We waited all this time for price to come back up to the resistance. If we go up to the weekly, we see it very clearly. This is the resistance. Don't need to overcomplicate things. Support, resistance, right here. Support, resistance, right here. Support, resistance, right here. So don't need to overcomplicate things, guys. That's the deal. That is what it is. Let's hop on now to, all right, so what I'm going to do, because I got to run, because I got to hop on this flight right now. I'm going to post a video later where I will do a top-down analysis. I'll show you guys exactly what I do when I break down a chart. Why do I have these levels on here? What do they mean? You know what I mean? How do I break down market structure? It'll be quick, like 10 minutes, 15 minutes or so, but it obviously will be very resourceful for you guys. So we are going to do a giveaway. What I want you guys to do for the giveaway is just post in the chat right now your Discord name, $25 giveaway. So just post in the chat right now, the Zoom chat, your Discord name, and I will pick a winner after the session. So I'm going to give you guys a minute or two to just go ahead and post up that. I'm going to check golds right now. Gold's rejecting a bit. Let's see this. And yeah, Nick didn't hop on today. I'm not really sure where this guy's at. Oh, if you guys are from the okay, we'll do something else because half you guys aren't even in the Discord chat. Post in the Telegram. Just post in your Telegram feedback from the meeting. So post in the Telegram one thing you guys learned, feedback from the meeting. Then I'll pick a winner for the giveaway in there because not everyone in here is actually in the Discord chat. So yeah, no problem, Felipe. So go into Telegram, just post in the chat, feedback from the meeting, one thing you guys learned. And yeah, I'll get that video out to you later today. This is recorded, so it will be on YouTube in a little bit. And yeah, I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your day. The next live session will be on Sunday, the Sunday Market Blitz. As always, for you newbies, I'm going to just go ahead and pull up the Telegram really quickly. For you guys that are new, come to this pinned message at the top here. You can get everything you need from us in here. This is how to join the group chat. So there is a group chat where you can talk with people. All of the messages from the regular Telegram gets sent into the group chat, and then you guys can comment on them in there. So definitely join that. If you want any of our free services, come to the Forex League message bot. Just click it and then type in start, or at the bottom it will say start. And then in here you can get, join the Telegram. You got the free services right here. If you click this link, this is how to get our free course. You put your email in here and everything. So that's how to get that. And then if you want information on the full course, the signals, the trade copier, our funded program, click any of these and get more information. Schedule a call if you want information on the premium membership. So that way we can actually talk and see if it makes sense for you to join. Another way to get more information about our services is to go on our website. So our website is forexleagueco.com right here. And in here, you can see a little bit of information about Nick and myself. You can see a video about the programs. These are the programs: signals, course, trade copier. And yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. You see some testimonials in here from some people. And yeah, as always, thank you guys for sticking on for the entire session. Hope you learned a thing or two. And we will be back we'll be back on Sunday for the Sunday Market Blitz. So hope you guys enjoy your day. Peace out.